السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا. Marhaban. Welcome guys to. Hope you guys are well, enjoying yourselves, and the sound's working as well. That's the most important thing. Hopefully the sound should be working. So, another Saturday, guys. Yeah, and another question and answers session. Hopefully, should be able to answer all the questions, or like I always say, the ones that I want to answer. So hopefully, inshallah, we should be able to get through all of those. All right, so 1 second, let me just get this right. All right, so how is everyone? Everyone enjoying themselves? Everyone having a wonderful time? Okay, so Yusuf Dawood, alaikum assalam, ahla wa sahlan. Welcome, Yusuf. Long time, Yusuf. Hope you're well. Hope works well. Umar Yusuf as well. Wa alaikum assalam, ahla wa sahlan, marhaban. And Z, is there 3 different ways to pronounce Jibreel? No, in fact, there's actually 10 different ways. I think some have said 18 different ways. Yeah, to pronounce Jibreel. So there's 10 that are mentioned in Baylawi, I know that. But some of them have added it up to. All right, Sal, you're watching, yeah? All right, Sal. So, yeah. All right, Sal, you're watching. Well done. So there's actually more than 3. If you remind me later on, I'll actually try to go through them. So Zed, if you remind me later on near the end. Rona, if a person was deceived to marry someone, but the person still carried on with the marriage despite the deception, would that marriage be valid? Yes, that would be a valid marriage, as long as both parties were happy, consent was given. Dima L, wa alaikum assalam. I was wondering what Islam says about evolution and the creation of the world. Right, so there's actually a very good video on this by Sapiens Institute. So Dima, if you've seen this video, they've gone into a lot of good explanation. The basic summary, let me just try to find, if anyone can find it. Sapiens. Yeah, so if you go to Sapiens, you'll actually find it there. Yeah, if someone can find it, you can put it up. So that's a very good, nice explanation of how much scope there is with regards to Muslims believing in it. So generally, I would say this. Generally, the Quran does not go against the idea of evolution per se, but the only problem is the Quran is very clear in how Adam alayhi salam was created, in the sense that Adam alayhi salam's creation is something which was unique from all of the creations, and that this was something that Allah explicitly mentions about Allah creating him directly with some special sort of intervention. That's the only issue that we have. Right? So that's why, common understandings of evolution are problematic with just that aspect. But animals being created through evolution, we don't have any issue with that. That's fine as well. And all other sort of like organisms and yeah. So check it out, Dima, and let me know if you find it. Wa alaikum assalam, Eskhan, ahla wa sahlan. كيف الحال؟ كيف الأمور؟ ما شاء الله ما شاء الله. I checked out the that mic thing that you were saying, the Aston mic thing. Yeah, it's quite good. The only problem is I used 2 mics. It would work for one of the mics, but it wouldn't work for the other one. The other one I've got is this one over here, which is a shotgun mic. So you can't have that thing around it. You can only have that if you're like, that's good for, if you're not really bothered about the video. If it's just audio you're after, because it hides your face, kind of blocks out your face. But yeah, I'll do. I might order it. I'm thinking I might order it because I'm thinking of doing some audios, and I like nice kind of heavy audio sound, like radio, that kind of thing. What do you guys think? If there is a different levels of Jannah, if one member of family goes to one and I to another, inshallah, how can we be together? So this is a good question, excellent question. What we have to first of all understand about Jannah is this: Jannah is not like this world. First of all, so whenever we're told something about Jannah, what we automatically do is we base Jannah upon the experiences that we've had in this world. Yeah. So imagine it like, let's say, you imagine you go back in time, 1,000 years back in time, and you say to someone, "Oh, where we live, there's like people can talk to each other, just like, from different parts of the world, and people can travel long distances in a very short space of time, and people can build houses on different planets." They will understand that according to what they have understood of their time, the science of their time, you can say. That's how they're going to understand it. Does that make sense? So this is why we have to be very careful in when we're trying to understand Jannah. So that clear that up. So going back to your question then. So in Jannah, what we're told is basically in Jannah, there are going to be some sort of like windows of opportunity to go and meet each other at different levels. So there will be this meeting, but depending on where you are, it's like the privilege is obviously restricted for certain people. That's what we understand. That's how much information we've been given. We haven't been given more than that. How are you, Mufti Sahib? Alhamdulillah, very well, thank you very much. And family, very good. Alhamdulillah. Today, by the way, I actually was invited to give a talk at a chaplains convention. So there was a chaplains convention. About 100 chaplains came from around the UK, who generally work in prisons with inmates. Alhamdulillah, went well, good. I just give a little talk and a little dua, and then I had food. That's the main thing. But mashallah, I got to meet so many people. And today, like, I met quite a few people who actually know me through social media and through Facebook, YouTube. And it was like, whoa, like first time seeing them, it's like strange where sometimes you see someone's name and then you put a face to it. So it's like, I like seeing your faces because then I can kind of like, fit a face. For me, it's easier than fitting a name. And I was in Tesco and actually bumped into a guy who actually, first of all, became familiar. He lives in the same area as where I work in, Sufa, Aston. And he was just like, I knew you from YouTube and this and that. And then he said that his dad said that he's met me, and it was like strange. Like he was kind of treating me like a celebrity, and I was thinking, whoa. He said to me, "You're like Mufti Make." I was going, I don't know about that. I don't know if I've reached that level yet, Mufti Make level. But yeah, mashallah, it's kind of weird feeling when you kind of meet people and they kind of know you. It's like they know you very well, but you don't know them. Shadab Khan, ahla wa sahlan, wa alaikum assalam, wa rahmatullah, hope you're well. If we catch a Jamaat Salat on the final rakat when Imam is sitting just before Taslim, and then we join Salah, then will we have quote the prayer in congregation? So there's an ikhtilaf amongst the Hanafis about this issue. Many of them say that no, you won't. You won't have the reward of the Jama'ah, but you have got the Jama'ah, but it's just that you don't get the reward of the full Jama'ah. And others argue that no, you do. Love Allah, wa alaikum assalam. I hope you're doing well. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much, love Allah. And I hope you're doing well as well, especially with that name, love Allah. Hamza, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, you're well. Could you elaborate on wiping over shoes that you mentioned on your short clip? Oh, yeah. So I don't know if you guys watched that short clip of mine that I made when I was out hiking. And I showed my shoes. And so basically, the ruling with regards to wiping over footwear, according to Hanafis, is as long as the footwear is sturdy enough for you to be able to walk in it, let's say 2 or 3 miles, and it comes all the way up to and above your ankles, right? You can wipe over them. That's the rule. So sturdy enough to be able to walk a long distance. So shoes fulfill that, right? So shoes fulfill that criteria. So therefore, leather socks fulfill that criteria. Thick socks fulfill that criteria, and shoes, the boot shoes, the one that come up to your ankles. But you can't take them off. That's the thing, obviously. Otherwise, if you take them off, then the masa is nullified. I hope that makes sense, Hamza. Layla, wa alaikum assalam. I hope you're well. I notice a lot of fiqh books always begin with the masail regarding tahara. Is there a reason for this? Yes, there is a reason for this. The reason for this basically is that the fiqh books, first of all, start off with tahara because tahara is the condition for prayer. Right, so it's like prayer is probably the most important thing that you're going to do, but before you actually do your prayer, you need to be clean. So it makes sense to teach people about cleanliness before you actually start the prayer. So that's the main reason. But in fact, some of the books, like Maliki books, they actually start with prayer first, times of prayer. So they start with times of prayer. And the Shafi books, they actually start with water first. Right? So that's like a strange thing. Hanafis start with wudu, Maliki start with the prayer times, and Shafi start with what do you call it? Water. Ahmad, if during Ramadan a couple have marital relations as they forgot they were fasting, do they have to do qada and kafara? No, in fact, the fast doesn't break. If a husband and wife have sexual relations with each other, and they forgot it was fast Ramadan, and then they realized they don't have to, their fast is still intact. It's similar to a person accidentally eating food, thinking that their fast has broken, when in reality it hasn't broken. Yeah, so that's basically the ruling. So Haidar, wa alaikum assalam. Can I follow Maliki opinion when traveling, which is I can join Maghrib and Isha at home if too difficult to pray whilst on my journey home? If it's, I can't say to you whether you can follow an opinion or not. I can just tell you that if it's very difficult for you, you know that you won't be able to make it on time, then first of all, you must pray on time. If you can't pray on time, you know it's going to be too difficult, then it's possible to take the other madhab opinion on that. But that's only when it's difficult for you to be able to take the opinion of the Hanafi madhab. Rona Hakim, I usually pray 3 rakats for witr salah. If I reduce it to 2 or 3 rakats, would the reward be reduced? Well, according to Hanafi, I don't know which madhab that you follow, but according to Hanafis, you have to pray 3. If you pray less than 3, it's not witr. It's just optional prayer. So you don't have to pray 3. MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair, Ahlan wa sahlan, aspiring neuroscientist. MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair. I like your name. I always like that name. Aspiring neuroscientist. Dua request myself. I mean, may Allah bless you and your family and your children. I mean, Jazakallah khair for your kind donation. Your donations, guys, remember, it's something which it means a lot to me because it does motivate me. Trust me. It doesn't matter how much you give. It's always something motivational for me. So the idea basically is that we are obviously try to do things for Allah's sake, but we are still human at the end of the day, and we do obviously need software, and we need to pay for subscriptions and pay for video editing and all these different kind of things. So it does kind of like motivate you, definitely, alhamdulillah. And this is one of the things about trying to become a productive Muslim. One of the things is you always have to have an incentive, right? There must be an incentive behind the scenes, which is really kind of motivating, and it has to be a material kind of worldly incentive, definitely. And I'm actually thinking about doing maybe some sort of like a kind of thing of how I, you guys always think I'm very productive. So I was thinking that, okay, well, if you guys think I'm productive, I'll probably try to just tell you guys what I do, and maybe that will inspire other people to to maybe become a bit more productive in their lives. I don't know. You guys tell me. Okay, let's have a look at Curious Cat. Curious Cat. All right. So, Curious Cat. All right, today I've got this nice Turkish red kind of, looks a bit like cherry tea. Okay, let's see. All right, so Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by untransformed. One of the ingredients is glycerine, and it's a sugar alcohol derived from animal products, plants, or petroleum. Okay, this is that last week's question. Yes, in that case, you can use it. Okay, next one. Do you have any concise Hanafi fiqh without the Arabic? Yes, check on my uruk.com or check on my uruk.com. So you can email learning@gmail.com. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Going Umrah with wife in a few weeks. Once we have completed it and go back to our hotel, is it permissible to shave my head in my own hotel room? Wassalam. Yes, it is permissible to shave your own head. Yes, it's permissible to shave your own head. However, some scholars say that you should get a non-ihram person, non-muhrim person, to do it, like the barber. Right, next. Assalamu alaikum. So I just wanted to confirm, can women wear closed shoes during Umrah? Yes. Wassalam. Yes. I remember this happened once. I went to Umrah and we were in the line in the Saudi airport just to kind of like get out of the airport. And there was like this couple next. And the lady was wearing like those slippers like men wear. You know, men have to basically expose the top of the lace of their foot. And what happened basically was she said that, oh, I have to wear these and I find it difficult to wear. And then I just said to her, well, women don't have to wear those. Women can wear socks. They can wear shoes. It's fine. And she said, yeah, I thought that women have to wear those slippers like men do. And I said, no, the only thing about women is that they have to expose their face when they're in ihram. If I prayed in car, I repeat. Yes. Repeat. Next. Assalamu alaikum. If I establish that my period is over, then sometime later, but within still 10 days, I get yellow discharge, and it only happened that one time, would I repeat my ghusl? It happens often and it's annoying because yes. Wassalam. No need to repeat ghusl. Consider the discharge to be normal discharge. Yeah, so you'll be able to take that, consider it to be normal discharge, not menstrual. Yeah, so once a woman has seen clear discharge, and then after that, the discharge that she sees, I would say, as long as it's not like red color or something of that kind of sort, then she can ignore it. All right, all that questions done. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Let's check out these ones then over here. What is the copyright terms and conditions of your YouTube channel? May I download and distribute it? So basically, I would rather prefer people to come to the channel and check my stuff out. So you can use the videos as long as you bring them back to my channel. So I would say, and the reason is because I don't want people to cut and chop videos and misunderstand what I'm saying. Right? Rather, if I have everything on my YouTube, then people can't go around, distributing my whatever I put up in a wrong way. Yeah. So that's why there's copyright on there. Reading the last few verses of Surah Kahf to help waking up for Fajr, does this have any foundation text? There's nothing in hadith about this, but some of the later people have said they've experienced this and they found that it works. If it works for them and you tried it, it works for you, well done. But if it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't mean that it's something that has been, mentioned in hadith or anything like that. Okay, are movies haram to watch? If they have haram content, then they're haram to watch. Okay. A priori, husband says to his wife, I quitted my job and I quit my marriage. This does count as a kinaya in talaq, so it depends on the intention of the husband or clear circumstances. I would say intention, yeah. This would depend on the intention of the husband, or what he meant by this. As in, he might mean I quit my marriage, as in, look, I'm not going to work for it anymore. Right, I'm just going to sit back. Is it permissible to remind someone of what you've done for them if they accuse you of doing nothing for them? Yes, you can remind them. The only time that it's considered wrong to remind is if you want to kind of make them feel bad, making them feel bad. That's the kind of wrong reminder. Is love Allah? Don't watch dramas. Don't you love Allah? Don't watch dramas. Don't watch films, my brother. Rhythmic, I can't say that name. Rhythmic, I'll just call you Rhythmic. Is it permissible to touch the mushaf without wudu? According to the majority of the four madhabs, they say no. Yeah, there has to be some sort of a cover on there if you want to touch it. Some separate cover. Okay, Christiana, the 2 rakats prayed before Fajr, when are they done? I'm a new Muslim and I don't know how to pray those 2 rakats. Jazakallah khair. Right, so what you can do, I've actually made a whole series of learning fiqh. It's called the Quduri series, Mukhtasar Quduri series. It's on my YouTube channel. You can check that out if anyone can find for the sister the playlist for Quduri. You can put it underneath. Oh, actually, I found it. Yeah, so you can go through the playlist and you can find out about the salat. Yeah, salat. Hopefully, inshallah, they should be easy enough to be able to understand. This is for prayer times. Yeah, so going back to this then. I'm a new Muslim and I don't know how to pray those 2 rakats. Jazakallah khair. Yeah, so if you watch those videos, I explain in there how to pray. So you just pray those 2 like you would pray any other 2, right? So any other 2, if you know, then you pray like that, basically, right? And if there are any other sisters out there, maybe can help Sister Christina maybe learn about how to pray, then inshallah, please help. Jazakallah khair, Hamza. You're welcome. Mu'inuddin, do women also have to raise the index finger in tashahud? Yes. According to Hanafis, it would be considered mustahab to do so. Abu Safura, ahlan wa sahlan. Wa alaikum assalam. MashaAllah, my brother from another mother. What's happening, bro? What's the latest? What is the halal way of approaching a girl or a man? Like, even for marriage, you're talking about. Well, you just approach. Right? Look, Islam does not tell you how to do something. It tells you what you're not allowed to do. Does that make sense? So you can't have some sort of like a secluded sort of interaction with them away from everyone else or flirt with them online or whatever. That's not allowed. Yeah. So you kind of just look at how other people do it. That would be. Yes, I also wondered about that shoes video back then. I thought that ruling was only for war, wiping over shoes. No. So Sahaba used to wear slippers. They never used to wear shoes like we wear shoes. Remember that. They never have shoes. We had shoes. So they had khufs, which is basically footwear. The idea for khufs is not just leather. It's any type of strong footwear. So it applies to all strong footwear. How much gold is exempt in zakat? As long as it's less than about 87 grams of. So if you watch my crash course on zakat, Haider. Yeah, watch my crash course on zakat. I've explained it in there in a lot of detail. Where is it? Zakat crash course. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Yeah, so Haider Ali, gold, zakat. Ya Allah. All right, next. Are you sinful if you disobey your parents if they told you to commit a sin? No, you're not sinful. Shaking hands with a woman, not allowed. Is it permissible to watch a series where Islamic figures such as Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu are portrayed as actors? Yes, you can watch them. According to many of the scholars of today, it's allowed. S. Dudu, ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan wa sahlan. For some time, I had to pray my salah on the bus. I then learned the fard salah sitting is not allowed. Should I do qada? I don't even know how many times. So I would say from now on, don't do it. Right, from now on, don't do it. But because there is some sort of like ikhtilaf somewhere amongst the madhahib, then you'd be exempted for what you did in the past. Right. So if you don't know how much you've done, don't do it. From now on, if you do it, you'll have to repeat your salat again. Ahmad, in the final year of Alimiya at As-Sufa, do students get ijazah to teach hadith books, e.g. Bukhari, using their teachers' isnad? Yes. Yeah. If they qualify, that is. how does one get themselves to thoroughly enjoy Salat? So let me tell you how to get yourselves to thoroughly enjoy Salat. Number one, stay away from sins, especially sins of the eyes. Stay away from that. Yeah, that's the first thing you have to do. Number two is make sure you do your wudu properly. Like take your time in doing your wudu, wash your limbs thoroughly. And number three is before you pray your prayer, pray 2 rakats of nafal before you pray a prayer. Yeah, do these three things and do it for a week. You'll see the difference in your salat. 100%. To become a ma'dur, the udhr has to be present for a whole prayer time. But what if one didn't pray and it is the middle of the time and the udhr persists till the end of the time? Yeah, so basically what they say is that it has to occur for the entire duration of the entire time. Yeah, so entire time would have to go by. So let's say, for example, it's halfway through Dhuhr. So I don't know, let's say Dhuhr starts at 12 and it ends at 3. So at 2 o'clock, you got this. So you won't be called a ma'dhur, even if it goes all the way till 3. So what will happen basically is that just before 3, you'll have to pray. You pray your salat. And then, you're considered to be, a person who's exempted from that situation. Then after that, you'll be counted as being a ma'dhur after that. So before that, you won't be counted as being a ma'dhur. Yeah. So if it persists till the end time, you pray right at the end. So you wait till about 2:50, and then if it doesn't stop, just pray. Right. Then after that, after 3 o'clock, then you'll be counted as being the ma'dhur. Okay, next question. If a person completes his alimiya with one institute, can he redo his 6th year with another to solidify his knowledge? Excellent, yeah. Definitely, he can. Is Sheikh Asrar Rashid your mate? Unfortunately, I don't know him that well. I know Sheikh Muhammad Aslam, but Sheikh Asrar, I've never got a chance to meet him. Why do the Hanafis say that a person has the option, the person only has the option to not fast in Ramadan if they begin the day traveling as opposed to travel? Yeah, because basically, because the Quran says the word musafir, that means the ruling is only exempt for musafir. And the ruling starts from Fajr time. So if at Fajr time you're not a musafir, the ayah of the Quran doesn't apply to you. That's the idea. I am very uncomfortable in abaya working or walking. Is it haram to dress with trousers? No, it wouldn't be haram. Wear clothing which is loose, which is not revealing the shapes of your body, and inshallah that should be okay. If mixed gathering haram, then why is that in Mecca there is a mixture of men and women around the Kaaba? So first of all, mixed gathering is not haram. What is haram is having a gathering where people do not observe the rules. Right? So generally, men and women should be separate. Yeah. So like in the masjid, the Prophet ﷺ, the women would be at the back, men would be in front of them. And obviously, it's not considered to be like on the bus. You might have to sit next to a woman. In masjid and the Kaaba, it's impossible, literally impossible, to separate the men and the women because of tawaf. Right. So the Masjid al-Haram rules are exempt from all of the masjids. Yeah, that's the general because of difficulty. Ibn Adam wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Hey Ali, if I give money to a sibling to use for a deposit on an interest-based mortgage, but in the end I will not get any benefit, only the money back borrowed, am I sinful? No, you're not sinful. Yeah, because you're just giving it to that person to use it as they want, right? So you're not responsible for how they use it. Would you ever do chaplain work in prisons and other places? You know what? It's a good question. I was actually saying it to them. I was saying I probably wouldn't be able to because first of all, I'm Pathan, and I get too hot-headed, and I find it difficult to be able to work with the public. Yeah, working with the public, I find it difficult, right? Because you need to have a lot of tolerance and calmness and understanding and listening. I don't have that. I can probably take me time to build it up, but unfortunately, I'm just like straightforward. Yeah, when it comes to these matters. So, some people call me abrupt, but the more accurate word is I'm Pathan. Why does Shafi madhab say you have to pray? Why does Shafi madhab say you have to pray Shafan and Witr not do a sin, not doing a sin. I don't understand. Not doing a sin. I'm sorry, I don't understand. I mean, if you want to ask Shafi questions, you'd have to ask the Shafi scholars. So I'm not trained in the Shafi madhab, so I wouldn't be able to help you there. But I didn't understand the question properly. Right. Ibn Adam, mashallah. Parents at home watch Makkah live. Is it allowed to pray Salah whilst it's on live, or if it's makruh, the audio is put on low? You mean you want to pray behind Makkah, like Makkah's praying Zuhr and you want to pray Zuhr with them? Is that what you're saying? Or you're just saying that you want to pray in the room, whatever Salat you're praying, whilst the TV's on and Makkah? Is that what you're saying? Would haram content be characters showing their arms and doing things that non-Muslims do when see them outside? It would be more of exposure of aura, exposure of other naked parts, because when it comes to non-Muslims, their aura is not the same as Muslims. So there would be, for example, from the breasts below, the thighs and all that. That would be impermissible to look at. Is it allowed to post the Quran, or better not to? Post the Quran, I don't understand. If you can explain that. NS, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. When making a past Ramadan fast, can they be done a few times at a time? Must be done together, or it can be done separately. So if you watch my Kuduri videos, I've actually explained this masala about making up. I did it, I think, about 2-3 weeks ago. So it's permissible to do all together, or if you want to do it separately, spread out. Adama, wa alaikum assalam. I was wondering if a man in college is converting with a sister who's not Muslim to give them da'wah and help them. Is this permissible? So generally, da'wah is considered permissible. But what I would say is, look, if this is something where a woman can clearly do it, if a woman can give da'wah to a woman and a man to a man, this is the most ideal situation, right? This is what we should, because we want to keep the intentions healthy, halal and healthy. What we don't want to happen is there to be interactions for so long that one side starts to feel feelings for the other side, and then it leads to one thing, and a shaitan comes in, and the whole point of da'wah now is kind of like messed up because of their bad intentions. So this is why theoretically it'll be fine, but there should be some sort of limits there. If it's done in public where there's people there, others are there, then possibly if it's like a group of people. Alhamdulillah, weather's permitting riding at 2ish tomorrow, inshallah. Inshallah, tomorrow looks like I should be able to go, inshallah. Love Allah. Fast food's haram, like Burger King, McDonald's, when's? Yes. So fast foods that are made from haram meat is haram to consume. If they're made from haram meat, haram to consume. But if they're made from halal meat, like for example in Mecca, in Saudi Arabia, in Pakistan, you have Burger King, you have McDonald's. Over there, it's I assume the meat would be from halal source. Ibn Adam, which English translation can we use to translate the Quran? You can use anyone you want. I would say something like the Glorious Quran, the Gracious Quran, and or maybe even Professor Abdul Halim's Clear Quran. How much of a salah must be completed in its time before it counts as done? All of it, apart from Asr, all of it. Say Fajr is at 5 and sunrise at 6. Could I wake up at 5:30 to pray Fajr? Yes, you can. Show like Portugal is allowed, but too much music and non-mahram men and women. I haven't watched it, but I know many other people have watched it and they've said that it seems fine. There seems to be sufficient covering up. So if you take the opinion that you're very strict on music, then fine, don't watch it. But if you take the opinion that background music isn't an issue, then there's scope for that. Is it allowed to work for an insurance company and do the bookkeeping? I would say no. It depends exactly what the description of the job is, but generally, if it's to do with the dealings of insurance itself, then I would say no. If a person leads Salah with his mother and didn't realize that he shouldn't be standing side by side, little in front of her, and he's done this many times. Should he make up his salat? No, he doesn't have to make up his salat, but next time he should remember this. So at least stand like this. At least stand her feet behind his heels. Where are you from? I am from the UK, but originally my grandparents came from Pakistan. Is tayammum valid if a person has face paint on? So as long as the face paint isn't a crust, like a thick crust, it would be permissible. Do you know if the chocolate's dame is halal? I don't know. Not sure. Is it permissible to take the COVID vaccine if you sincerely believe that you shouldn't, based on how you see issues at hand? I've taken both of them, so I don't see a problem with it. But if you feel that it's bad, then it's up to you. It's totally up to you. It's not like an Islamic issue in itself. Are all types of music haram? Are there exceptions? So this is like a very long topic. If it's like music like rap nowadays and these kind of music with vulgar words in there, all that's totally impermissible. If it's sort of like just like a chime that you use for your mobile phone, like a ring or an alarm or something of that sort, which is the purpose of it is not to enjoy the music itself, it's just to alert you, then that would be okay. Are haircuts such as Faye? Lower Allah, it looks like you're going to be asking. Yeah, so basically, look, let me tell you this about haircuts, and I always say this. Basically, the Hanafis say, what does qaza mean? Are you asking with Hanafi position? From the Hanafi position, qaza basically means you shave your whole head and you leave the size of 3 fingers on your head. That's number one. And number two is like the Jews have. They shave the head and they leave 2 locks. That's qaza. Hanafis don't have any other meaning of qaza. So all of the haircuts are permissible. If the pants exceed the ankles, is that haram? According to Hanafis, no, unless it's considered to be for arrogance, then it's impermissible. Makkah live question. Just pray on Salah, not follow the Imam. Yes, it will be permissible. You know about the bus, how should I pray anyway and then do qada, or simply pray qada as soon as I can find a place to pray? So you can't pray on time. Is it not possible for you to pray on time? I've started learning Arabic. What are the books you recommend in grammar? So what I would suggest is do my Quranic Arabic 17 lessons course. It's for £15 the course is. Here's the details that over here, details. Yeah, so email, website, you can check out. And it's £50, and inshallah, you will inshallah learn a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of people here who have done it as well. Okay. Clothes that have pictures of animals, can I wear them without prayer? If the picture of the animal is large, that if someone was to stand a few meters back and can see those images, then no. But if it's small images and they have to look very carefully at it to figure out what it is, then they can wear them. I used to take the bus at the end of Asr, and Maghrib would end on the journey. So Maghrib basically ends when Isha starts. So if you can make it back, if you know you're going to stop and get home before Isha starts, you can pray your Maghrib then, right, according to Imam Hanifa. Can you pray Tahajjud 45 minutes before Fajr? Yes. Jawdat Saadi, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Thank you for helping me with regarding the Quran in your playlist. My question is that if it's okay that you accidentally ate a non-halal item without recognizing. Yeah, if it's accidental, it's fine. The sin is where you deliberately eat something haram. That's where the sin is attached. Rona Hakim, if I pray Fajr 10 minutes before sunrise, is my prayer considered to have been performed? Yes. In praying with wife or mother, shouldn't she stand fully behind, as long as the feet are behind, Hanafi say? Yeah, Hanafi say as long as the feet are behind. Hello, ahlan wa sahlan, khush. Which book would you recommend for upper intermediate for Swarfa and Imla? Swarfa and Imla, yeah? I don't know, I mean, Ilm al-Sigha is very good. There's also a book by what is it called? By A Salih Samurai is called الصرف العربي. Yeah, صرف العربي. الصرف العربي. Yeah, that's good. If Islam is all about unity, then why is there division of schools in Islam? So, Rona, what you need to do, watch my video on the history of madhabs. Yeah, over there, you'll understand. Mu'eed, wa alaikum assalam. Is it makruh to expose above the elbows during salat wearing a t-shirt? No. Can you please say happy birthday to my cousin, Nick, Nick, he is battling cancer. Happy birthday to the cousin of Khush. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gives you shifa kamil. Sorry to hear about the cancer, and it's really I mean, I know how it can be very devastating to family when one member of the family has had cancer and they've lost their lives to it. It is a very serious thing, and so Nick, if you're watching, Nick, then happy birthday. Jawdat, you're welcome. Haider, is it permissible for a taxi driver to drive someone to a club? Yes. Can we post the Quran from Manchester to London by Royal Mail or another courier? Oh, I see. Yeah, I would say you can. Yeah, because generally it's not sent as a disrespect. What I would say is try to ensure that it's not. You try and tell them that to take care of it when they're sending it. In winter, I couldn't make it. The entire Maghrib would pass. Oh, okay. Yeah, in that case, then it makes sense. Then you can pray on the bus. Yeah, because of your situation. If you know it's not possible, then you can. How many languages do you speak and how do you learn Arabic? I know English, Pashto, Urdu, Arabic. So these 4 languages I know very well. And then there's like other side languages that I can understand. All right. And that's it, guys. All your questions have been answered. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan wa sahlan. So yeah, so that's basically been my day today. Right. So today I had a nice, enjoyable day. I like meeting ulama, I like meeting kind of people. I mean, I did say it in the past, I don't like meeting them. But actually, you know what? Depending on my mood, I can actually like meeting people. So I like eating ulama as well. But meeting ulama. Okay, guys, chocolate time. Right. So chocolate I'm going to eat now is this one. Yeah, this is going to be a bit bitter. So those of you guys who don't like bitter chocolate, well, tough. You guys just going to have to either mute your mics here. S Khan, you better mute your mic if you're listening. And anyone else who doesn't like the sound. Yeah. Yeah, so I do kind of like enjoy meeting ulama. It's kind of fun. You get to meet different types of people, and sometimes people recognize you from somewhere. Sometimes you recognize people from somewhere. And I think the biggest thing that I get is when you kind of see someone on social media a lot, you naturally have this kind of sort of like reservation of meeting them. You're scared, like approaching them. What they're gonna be like. Maybe it's just naturally you have that. But then once you meet them, they're very humble people. They kind of get on with you. So I was giving a talk today, and one of the Maulanas came to after us, goes, mashallah, the Birmingham accent. Right? He's praising the Birmingham accent, and I think that's it, man. You guys have a different perspective on the Birmingham accent, but look at that. People come from far and wide. Listen to my talk and like the Birmingham accent. You should try. Oh, Montezuma Absolute Black. I try this one. Montezuma Absolutely Black. Yum, yum, yum. I will try that now for you later. I need to hide the sound. Brumtown, massive. Birmingham. You gotta say it in the right way. Birmingham. Maji, you haven't come down to have some of this, man. This is really good. I must say, extra dark, yeah. Really nice and milky. It's kind of silky kind of taste it has in your throat. A nice, if that's the way to describe it, silky kind of taste. That was excellent. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. I will try in a bit for later. I will try the black chocolate, dark chocolate. Have you been cycling lately? No, I haven't. In fact, it's been about 3 weeks. Over 3 weeks. It's proper overdue. One of my friends was telling me about this thing. Let me tell you about this, guys. It's called Zrift. Yeah, it's Zrift. Basically, what it is you get your bike, you take off the back wheel, you attach it onto this machine, and then you connect with your device to people around the world who are cycling. And what happens is, wherever you're going, the bike replicates the feeling as though you're riding on that surface. So people do like 20 miles, 30 miles, and they talk to each other. And I've heard it's like really kind of popular with a lot of cyclists. So those cyclists who can't go out because of work and their busy schedules, they connect with people around the world. And some of them after work will go cycling, even outside if the conditions aren't the perfect conditions. So it's like, the device can be a bit expensive, like £700, £800, just for that device to attach your bike onto. And I was thinking to myself, whoa, check that out. Dedication, that is or what? And that actually might be a good thing, for me, because, I do want to go cycling quite a bit, but then unfortunately, because of my time and my work, I can't go in the week. So, Maji, have you heard of this Drift? Nice walk. Yeah, last week I went to a place called Wrekin Hills. Wrekin Hills, it's near Telford. That's why I made that little video. And it's quite good. It's quite good. It's quite enjoyable, like a nice long walk, 3-4 mile trek. You got to wear the right gear, I would say. Right shoes, right gear. Make sure you plan it properly. Get the right type of food with yourselves as well. And it was really good. We saw this like kestrel as well. Kestrel, was it a falcon? I don't know. And it was literally like hovering in the air. I made a video. I'll try to upload the video onto my YouTube channel. Show you guys. Wa alaikum assalam, Tiratay Melur. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan. Very good. Thank you very much. How are things in Malaysia? Have things got any better? Birmingham. Tell us how it tastes. Mu'inuddin, assalamu alaikum. Please provide some motivational words on how to be consistent, committed, and focused in studying the religion. Excellent, excellent. This is what I like. So let me tell you something. How do you become consistent and committed? You think about it this way. In your life, think about something that you've done and you are committed to it. Think about anything that you've done. Obviously, besides sleep, you're very committed to sleep and consistent with that. When we're going toilet, that's something you have to do, right? Because your body. But think about something else that you might have done in your life. Maybe, for example, like you did, I don't know, some sort of like a marathon, or maybe you did a particular course, or maybe you did something else. What you have to remember is, if you want to be committed to anything out there, the first and foremost thing you have to learn is you need to have goals. There's two types of goals that you need. You need to know, like long term, why are you doing it for? And I don't mean theoretically whizzy fizzy kind of objectives. You need to have like a proper solid objective. You want to achieve something. Like if you're in the Olympics, your aim is to get gold, silver, or bronze, right? That is that's a aim. Yeah, goal. Number two is you need short-term goals, and they need to be practical, that you can achieve them. So, for example, like let's say you want to study. You think to yourself, why do I want to study for? Say, I don't know. I want to study because I want to be able to stand behind the Imam and understand the Quran. That's my goal, right? That's an excellent goal. Okay, that's a long-term goal. How are you going to achieve this now? So you need to sit down with a piece of paper and a pen, draw out yourself a timeline, give yourself a practical sort of like 2-year plan, and say, in 2 years, I want to be able to listen to the Quran and understand it, or 3-year plan, whatever you want to do. And then say, okay, How am I going to achieve this? What steps am I going to take? What are the short goals? So, for example, like split in half, say, okay, halfway, I'm going to learn half. And then so you'll break it down into portions, and then that will become more sort of like beneficial to you. That's the first thing you have to do. And the second thing that you have to do is you have to be able to give yourself some reward after you've achieved something, and not just some silly reward like, oh, I'll just kind of, I don't know, eat a sweet or something. No, you got to give that proper reward where it's something to look forward to, right? Maybe splash out, go out for a nice meal somewhere really nice that you normally wouldn't go to. You've achieved this much. What happens is you want to trick your brain. That's how you kind of get it. The idea is you trick your brain. So, that's what happens when they found with dopamine effect. So what used to happen was they did studies and they found that when people used to kind of do what they wanted to do, the dopamine effect, it came when they had that experience that whenever I do this, I have a feel good factor. So that feel good factor, you need to make your brain think that you're going to get that every time, and that's how you're going to do it. And then last but not least, obviously, you need to physically, this is the third thing you have to do, physically make a checklist, like a tick box. It can be something simple, or maybe it can be jars where you have like okay, these are my jars. If I've completed something, I'm gonna put like a seed in a jar, or a marble in a jar, or something like that, right? And that way you can physically, because physical observation, right, is very important to self-regulate yourself. You have to see something. You have to see facts and figures or something changing. Right? And trust me, if you do that, ideally you should have a mentor. That's the main thing. If you have a mentor, mentors really kind of cut everything out, and mentors are the things that get you through it. Okay. Barelvia beliefs, Sheikh, are you able to suggest a middle ground for Barelvia and Deobandi come together? I think the main thing is, I know it's a bit kind of crude, but the main thing is back home baggage. That's the biggest problem. Deobandis have back home baggage. The Barelvis have back home baggage. It's those kind of individuals who are putting too much pressure. It's that. So you are going to have to get some guys who are going to break the mold and speak out against their own community and other communities, and just kind of like break the taboo and just meet each other and just show it. If you make something more regular, like if people see Deobandi ulama, Barelvi ulama sitting together more, people taking pictures of it, putting it up on social media, having maybe like a dedicated Facebook page, or maybe some sort of like YouTube channel where they meet each other, they sit on platforms, they give bayans together. People keep on seeing that, they become desensitized to all of this stigma, and then they get on with it. That's what you need to do. It's a simple just idea of bringing people together and then destroying all that past baggage. That's what my own 2 pence on that is. I'm getting some chocolates out too, inshallah. نحن نأكل معا يا شيخنا. أهلا وسهلا, أهلا وسهلا. We can have a chocolate party, a virtual chocolate party. I'd love to go on a bike ride with you guys. Yeah, definitely come down. You should come down, inshallah. You should go to Dovestone Reservoir near Oldham. You like it, inshallah. Why not? Why not? If I get myself some of those bike racks, I can maybe put my bike on there, or maybe me and Maji can come down. Nadeem, alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan wa sahlan. Mu'een, love your Brummy banter, by the way. I have blood relatives from Small Heath, very familiar with the Brummy banter. That's the way, my brother. That's the way, my brother. So when you come down to Birmingham, let me tell you guys something. When you guys come down to Birmingham, right, you're going to feel at home. Let me tell you the truth. Bradford, you feel at home. Bradford people are very nice people, in the sense that they're very warm and they're very kind of like chilled out. Then you have Birmingham people. And then, unfortunately, guys, London, no offense here, but you guys are kind of cold people, yeah, compared to us. Is Xmas meals or Christmas meals done as they are at work now, as work culture, where our team goes for meal permitted it now? As a leader, what is your responsibility in the workplace where you have to be fair? I mean, see, I would say, these kind of questions, best to ask a Maulana or a Sheikh who has worked in these kind of environments. I haven't worked in these kind of environments. So I wouldn't be able to be the best person to understand the sort of like subtleties and maybe sensitivities of those kind of work environments. It's easy for me to say, it's haram, my brother, get yourself another job, right? It's easy for me to say that, but it's not easy for me to understand. If I was in that situation, would I have simply followed my own instructions, or would I have tried to find like what would be the best solution over here? So what I would say is, John man, is try to speak to someone who has. I mean, I don't know exactly what happens there. Is it possible to tell the person that, look, my religious values and beliefs kind of go against this, and is it easy to speak to the manager about that? Or maybe even if it's like a just general dinner where you're not sort of like, there's not any sort of alcohol being distributed and stuff like that. So that's why I would say the best thing to do with these kind of things is ask a Maulana, a Sheikh, a Mufti who has worked in these kind of places. Seriously, if you're going to ask a Maulana who's just been in the masjid all day or in a madrasa all day and doesn't understand these, I personally think that those kind of fatwas are very, not oppressive, but very unfair. They're very unfair for, right? You can be in a very nice and cushy sort of like spiritual environment, and you're giving fatwas and for people who are living in a very difficult situation where, for many of them, it's not really a choice where they can work. I heard of a term golden age of Islam regarding a certain period of history. Can you expand? This is a very big topic. Very big topic, Nadeem. Nadeem, you are asking like video topics you are. Golden era simply just means that the era in which the Muslims did the most in the world. That's what it means. So you're looking at about maybe, so if Islam is like this, basically it was about in the middle era. So there's no kind of fixed time. It started at this era, ended at this era. Is it mustahab, sunnah, or wajib the imam to stand in the middle if he is off the center of the? No, it's considered mustahab, recommended. If you are finishing anytime soon, could you please go through the different ways to pronounce you? Oh yes, you reminded me of that. I will do that, inshallah. Sheikh, where can I buy the different flavors teas you told us? I don't know, but if Sufyan's here, Sufyan, it's actually from Turkey. So Sufyan and his wife, they went to Turkey, and mashallah, they were so generous and kind, came back with gifts for me. And they were big box, 2 boxes full of teas. And I was just like overexcited. Rona, is it disliked to pray Fajr 10 minutes before sunrise? No, it's according to Hanafi, it's not disliked, but a person should not make it a habit. What is fatty acids? I don't know. I'm not a chemist. I did A levels chemistry, but I'm not a chemist. Is hijab compulsory? Yes. Will a female be sin not to wear hijab outside? If there's no valid reason, then yes. Okay, let me tell you the different pronunciations of Jibreel. Let me just bring it up because I don't know about heart. So I'll have to read it from the books. Okay, so where is this? All right, so how many different ways has it read? Yeah, okay, 13 different ways, yeah? Let me tell you 13 different ways. So what I'll do is I'll actually put it on the screen so you can see this as well. Yeah, because we've got this facility, so why not use it, man? Why not use it? Why not use it? All right, so let's have a check. So you got Jibreel, like Qindil, Jibreel. That's one qira'ah, or that's one way it's recited. Yeah. Jabreel with a fatha. Jabreel. Next one, Jibrail. Yeah. Jibrail. Jibrail. And then Jibrail without the il. Jibrail. And then Jibrail. Jibrail with a shadda on the lam. And then you have Jibrail. Jibrail. And then you have Jibrail. Yi, not il, yil. And then you got Jibral. And then you got Jibrail. Jibrail. And then you've got Jibra. Jibra. This بألف بعد الراء. ياءان أولهما مكسورة. جبرايل. جبرايل. Okay, that seems to be similar to that one. And then Jibreen. Jabreen. Jabreen. And Jibreen and Jibra'een with the noon instead of the al. Yeah, those are different qira'at. And this is from a book called Al-Mawsu'a al-Qur'aniyya, Qira'at al-Mawsu'a al-Qur'aniyya by Ibrahim al-Abyari. Let's see if there's another qira'at one. Yeah, so this one says, Ibn Kathir says, Jibreel, هنا وفي التحريم بفتح الجيم جبريل وكسر الراء من غير حمز وأبو بكر بفتح الجيم جب والراء جبرال وحمزة مكسورة جبرائيل من غير ياء وحمزة وكسائي وخلف مثله إلا أنهم يجعلون إياه. Okay, yeah. So it's similar. I just he's got a few. نشر في القراءات. Yeah, he's got quite a few as well. And there you go. That's it basically. Okay. Next question. Also Yogi. Oh, tease, yeah. Is yoga haram? No, it's just an exercise. If there's any beliefs that you have to have when you do them, or you have to call out to a god, then it becomes haram. But the practice actions itself would not be haram in itself. You're welcome. Ibn Adam, didn't know there were so many. Yeah, there's a lot. Mikael as well, Ibrahim, like different ways Ibrahim is pronounced. Okay, guys, so I have completed the questions. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. All right, I'm going to show you guys some books. No one's asked for book review, but today I was gifted some books. So you know what? I'm going to show you these gifts. I'm going to show you these gifts. All right, so let's check these out. So what did you guys think of this week's book review? Did you like it? Yeah, this was Dhammul Hawa, right? And it's a very nice book. It's got nice stories in there. It's not like the information in there isn't like everything's authentic from hadith and right. A lot of them like anecdotes or from other texts, other religious texts, but they're very sort of like helpful in trying to understand how, Hawa desires, carnal desires, which take you away from Allah, are dispraised. Okay, so I've got a whole series of books. So one is this one. Yeah, I've got this. I haven't read them yet. Okay. Taste the Sweetness of Salah. This is by an organization called, so make sure you guys subscribe to these guys. Life with Allah is called. Yeah, Life with Allah. Yeah, so Life with Allah. Check them out. Yeah. Life with Allah. I think they partnered up with Ummah Welfare Trust. You guys can read that later on. So the book basically kind of goes into topics like, I'll just read some of the topics for you. Khushu, the key to Salat, chapter 1. So it talks about khushu, peace in Salat. Number 2, how to develop khushu, how to develop peace in your Salat. How to develop khushu, 10 steps in your Salat. A journey through Salat, goes through the whole Salat. A journey through Salat summary. Yeah, that's it. So it's basically kind of like helps you with your Salat. This is how the inside looks. Paper quality is very nice paper quality. Yeah, it feels like maybe 20 GM paper, very nice thick paper quality, like 200 GM. Sorry, not 20, 200. Yeah, so this is like some good paper, right? And this has, I don't know who has written this. I think it's a group of ulama. Right, it's free for distribution. So if you contact them, maybe they'll be able to give it to you, send it to you free. And then there's a little book over here. Yeah, there's a little book. This is like a small little diary. It's just got like kind of like Ramadan, like in the year, and then it tells you a little piece of advice now and again, important Muslim dates, and it's got regular hadith there. Yeah, so you can like keep it with your small pocket diary, do's and don'ts in Ramadan. Yeah, it's like a little nice. You can see there. Let me just try to lower the brightness so you can see this better. I think it's still a bit bright. There you go. Yeah, so that's basically how it is. And then we have this one, daily adhkar. Yeah, this is daily adhkar, right? Daily dhikr that you can do. So it's nice, like Fajr time, what du'as to read, Maghrib time, what du'as to read. So this is again something which is really useful. So definitely, something morning dhikrs and evening dhikrs. I think we should be reading them a lot, protect ourselves. And then you got enjoy your salat. Yeah, this is like an adaptation from taste the sweetness of salat. Yeah, so it's a small little, gives you little tips. Little tips. There you go. Oh, mashallah, mashallah, Saeed, jazakallah khair for your kind donation. Kind donation, mashallah. Long time no see, man. Long time no see. Saeed's my cousin, guys. Yeah. And he's the man. Yeah, make dua for Saeed. Saeed, hope you're well. Hope everything's going well. Jazakallah khair for your kind donation, man. Means a lot. Yeah, you know what? I haven't drank that Japanese tea for about 2 months now. 3 months, I would say. So I've been drinking it sometimes in the mornings after Fajr. Make myself drink it, get that kind of detox. Jazakallah khair, Jazakallah khair. Saeed means a lot. What is the website that you were using when you were reading the pronunciations of Jibril? It's called Furqan.co. So you type in Furqan.co. Salam Mufti, why are Hanafi so strict on divorce? If a woman is forced into marriage when she is told she must marry the man, she is upset. Why is her crying taken? No, well, you got it wrong. Hanafis basically say crying is not a sign of consent. If it's like, if she's basically what they say is if it's a virgin girl and she cries out of happiness, then that's consent. But her crying doesn't mean it's consent. If she clearly is not happy, it doesn't matter how much she cries, the marriage doesn't go through. So I think you misunderstood the Hanafi position. I thought you reviewed a book earlier. That's why I didn't ask. Yeah, bro. You too slow, man. Too slow. Just out of curiosity, during the Ottoman Caliphate, at any point were there imams of Masjid al-Haram and Masjid al-Nabawi Hanafi? I'm not sure, Unfortunately, I don't know. Best to ask a historian about that. There were like Hanafi imams, yes. There were Hanafi imams historically in the Haramain. Salam Mufti, hope you are well. As I share a kitchen with non-Muslims, sometimes the water, sometimes there is a water around the sink after they finish washing up. Would this be assumed to be pure? Yeah, assume it to be pure, inshallah, because otherwise it's going to make life very difficult for you. As long as you don't see any sort of like impurities or haram, food or anything remnants there. Jazakallah khair, Saeed. You're the man. Hope you're well. How's London treating you? That busy lifestyle of London that I hate. Like every time I think about you're there, I'm thinking, Alhamdulillah, I'm in Birmingham. You should buy I wonder about Allah. Yeah, I know you mentioned that before. I just keep going off my mind. Ali Briggs, ahlan wa sahlan. Yusuf, it's crazy how I've been watching you when you only had like 20k subs. I love that more people are taking you benefit. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair, Jazakallah khair. Yeah, Saeed, man, you've been busy. Got some new tea and send you. We'll send you, inshallah. Make sure it's some good tea, yeah. Not some like kind of like poisonous, kind of like ones that get stuck in your throat. Jazakallah khair, man. Can't wait. Rapids, ahlan wa sahlan, welcome, alaikum salam. I learned that Turkish people probably use small teacups for the tea because when you use a small cup, the tea cools quicker. Yeah, that sounds like it. Because actually on Friday yesterday, after Juma, one of my friends, we went for lunch and we went to this Lebanese shop and they had small little cups and those very thin, sort of like Moroccan kind of style. And yeah, you're right. Actually, it gets cool very quick. If I make up Ramadan fasts on Mondays and Thursdays, will I get additional deeds for that? Hopefully, inshallah. Why not? Was the story of Barbaros true as there is serious? I have no idea. I'm not the best person to ask about history, okay, Muslim history. Best person to ask. Remember we bought that guy in, brother Hassan Munir. Yeah, so he's probably the best guy to ask. Adnan Rashid is good for history. Yeah, I'm getting tired. 20 hours a day. Whoa, 20 hours a day. Damn. Shukr. We are we are in Birmingham. 20 hours of rest. Are you playing badminton tomorrow? Inshallah tomorrow. Do you ever feel that your du'as are diluted when you expand them to the whole world? For example, praying for. Yeah, I think sometimes what happens is people that make du'as and they start making du'as a whole list of du'as. So I would say this: look, make du'as for everyone now and again. But like when you got something really kind of important to make du'a for, just make your du'a for yourself. It's not being miserly with your du'as. The Sahaba didn't make du'a. I know the Prophet ﷺ didn't make dua all the time for the whole ummah and everyone, right? Sometimes Aisha radiallahu anha would say that his favorite dua that he would always read a lot was Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhaban nar. So I know some people say you should make dua for the ummah. Yeah, obviously we should make dua for the ummah, but it doesn't mean every single moment in our day we're gonna make dua for them. We should make dua for ourselves as well. Focus on ourselves. يا شيخنا أننا نحبك في الله بارك الله فيك ونحن نحبك أيضا أحبك الذي أحببتني فيه. Going to log off and get some rest. You take care, man. Yeah, Jazakallah khair, Said. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, or if you have a weekend, that is. Is it sunnah to make dua after prayer? No, it's not considered sunnah muakkada. Yeah, it's recommended. It's good. It's good to make dua after prayer, but it's not considered to be sunnah in that sense where you raise your hands and you make dua. Where do you play badminton? I play basically. It's one of my friends' factories. So my friend's got a big, massive factory, and he's made lines in there, and we play there. Yeah, so it's not in a leisure center because a lot of the leisure centers have been closed for a very long time, and I think now they're probably open, but there's a lot of restrictions. Right. So guys, that is done. Nice session. Oh yeah, I forgot to eat the absolutely black chocolate. Absolute black chocolate. Gotta be eaten. Because if I don't eat it, maybe some jinn will come and eat it. Absolute black. Yeah. This is it, guys. Absolutely black. It's quite nice, Maji, you tasted it. Maji, if you're listening. We haven't had a what's it night? Games night for a long time. I wonder if there's any like online games people do. Like I know games like snooker and all that. But when you have games night when everyone comes down and you have like board games, online board games that you can play, strategy board games or mental kind of board games, where you have teams. Is there anything like that online where? Yeah, because I think maybe that would be good if whoever's interested, we could have like a session where we play this. What do you guys think? Would you guys be interested? Wa alaikum assalam, boxing, ahlan wa sahlan. Hassan Ustad, at uni we pray Jummah and there are 2 rooms. There is a huge gap between the 2 rooms. And since the rows aren't connected, would this affect? I'll have to see it. If you can maybe email me, show me like some sort of like the gap in between, but so I can understand what we're talking about here. But it can possibly, as long as the sound is reaching there and they're behind the imam, possibly, yeah. Sheikh, do you have any Ilm al-Kalam content? No, I don't. But I'm thinking maybe I might start something. I'm thinking might be a good idea. The problem with Ilm al-Kalam is, let me tell you, people who are serious about Ilm al-Kalam will study, but people who are not serious about Ilm al-Kalam will get bored because a lot of Ilm al-Kalam is quite boring. That's the truth. Yeah, because I've seen people who have said to me, "Oh, Ilm al-Kalam, blah blah blah," but they're not interested because it's quite intense. Because you have to really think a lot. Like imagine physics. Literally, it's like physics. Honestly, it's like physics, mathematics and physics. So if you're not into mathematics and physics, Ilm al-Kalam is not going to be for you. So Ilm al-Kalam is like one of those STEM kind of subjects. Science, technology, etc. That's what it is, I would say. So you gotta be into that kind of stuff. We'll send you some Swiss. Oh yeah, all right. Saria, Tatawama. Ludo always number 1. Classic board games, snakes and ladders. No, I mean like proper, like strategy board games. I don't mean like these kind of like little one, roll a dice and this and that. I mean like proper strategy ones where you're kind of testing people's. Plenty of games you can play online. Not only that, you can make money. Yeah. Whoa. Okay, all right. Will be good for mental health. Halal poker. Oh, you can play halal poker, but there's no like gambling involved. After wudu, I sometimes feel drops of urine. Can I pray in that state? What I would do is, after you're done wudu, sprinkle water in your underwear, and even if you feel it, just ignore it. About 10 meters distance. Yeah, I think it might be okay. Yeah, it should be okay. I invest into projects that are games where you can play and make a living. Oh, right. Sounds cool. That does. Whoa, we're going to find out more about that kind of stuff. Metaverse, yeah, where you put those kind of virtual sets on, like a Risk and stuff like that. Yeah. Have you seen Zishan and Alida was dining to Jannah channel? Yeah, I've heard of it. I've heard of it. I haven't really kind of watched it. Yeah, I've seen the games one, the gaming to Jannah. And the way I get rid of the urine is I pull it up from under the base tissue until there's none left. Well done. Can you play poker with your family substituting money? Yes, you can. All right, as long as obviously the poker is not going to lead to people gambling or missing their prayers and stuff like that. Right. So guys, make sure you watch the video that I've made on the third part of the Evolution of Fiqh series. Right. Let me know what you think. If it's something which is interesting to you guys as well, any kind of feedback that you get also is something which I really kind of look forward to as well. Evo of Fiqh. What is Sunnah? I hate it when the keyboard in Arabic and all of a sudden I type so much. Is Sunnah. Different place and review it. Oh, do different places, yeah. You mentioned doing something like, yeah, I know. I'd love to do that. In fact, if there's any of you guys that would be interested in that kind of stuff, then maybe once a month or something, if you wherever we are, we can go to a different city or something, and we can meet up and we can have like a dinner, and we can maybe even like record it or something, or I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Right, because you guys gonna have to be a bit photogenic, yeah. So who would be interested in that kind of thing? Meeting up, maybe it'd be like a once a month thing, or maybe once if it gets popular, then we could do it more often. But once every 2 months, maybe. Yeah, I mean, we can have maybe I don't know 5 to 10 people. We can have a meal. We can eat at places. Yeah, and we can check out different types of. What do you guys think? Yeah, tell me who would be interested. Because if I seriously get some, we can test it out. See how it's gonna meet up as well. We can see it in real life. I can see your faces. Yeah, and we can have a little banter as well. Some Brummy banter. Yeah, obviously, Brummy's got the best places to eat as well. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to kind of show off anything, but I gotta tell the truth. Did you see that video about the sheep the other day running around on Ladypool Road? What if you don't want to be on camera? Yeah, I mean, we can think of something that we can do where maybe just for those people who want to be on camera, we can have the cameras there. We can just record parts of it. We don't have to record the whole thing, just like maybe parts of it. I don't know. We can do something like that. We'll see. Hassan, you're up, yeah? Our public school food halal in USA. Best to ask, love Allah. Best to ask someone in USA. I don't know about USA. But ready to munch. Me, you're ready as well. Okay, so you got 2 people. Boxing's ready as well. Abdullah Afzal, where? I mean, obviously depends on where it could be. Make hijrah to Birmingham. I know a lot of very good eating places up north if you ever come down. Yeah, actually up north would be good. So what we could do, we could have maybe on one occasion maybe London, one occasion maybe up north, maybe one occasion Leicester, one occasion Birmingham. Maybe we could look at that. It's just ideas. We're just throwing ideas at the moment. Just to kind of see. Sheep running around just sums up, bro. See, we have everything going on, my brother. We have everything going on here. If it's in Birmingham, then sorry. Yeah, Birmingham is Birmingham, and Birmingham is just like the the Holy Grail. I'm ready. Oldham Steaks House is a must. All right, okay. What I could do is maybe I could say, right, this time I'm going to this place. Who's ready? And then whoever's ready, we can do a meetup for dining reviews. Get ready. Read your Azkar Daily Shake. I'm sure you do. Keep the ain away. Yeah, basically we're gonna put the videos up after we've eaten and it's digested. That's the trick. That's what Haludi Foodie taught us. Yeah, Haludi Foodie said I put my pictures up after I've done it all. Yeah, so I think maybe that'd be good. Maybe it'd be good to kind of meet you guys as well and get to know more, and we can see how the channel can go from there. Maybe a roots of knowledge or uh, roots of food. Yeah, roots of knowledge. You can have roots of food, roots of dining, roots of eating. That way, you know. If a scholar from Dion meets the Braillery side, they are labeled a traitor. Any solutions around? So, yeah. See, the thing is, when if you look at it in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, anyone who became a Muslim, right? Anyone who spoke up against the bad practices amongst the Quraysh and all that, or became a Muslim or sided with the Muslims in any way, was called a traitor or was kind of labeled in a bad way. So you are going to get that. That's something you can't avoid. But that's the only way that this kind of thing can be broken. This deadlock is by taking a step. Someone has to, right? And I think that if it was like several people in Birmingham just got together, met each other, videos are made, and regularly people get together, I think it makes observers, spectators, kind of realize that look, there isn't a big problem between the Ubandis and Brelvis. Good way to connect with your viewers and see different places. Definitely. What's your opinion on English Jama khutbah? It's possible. Yeah, there's scope for it. There's never this issue I feel amongst the Sufi Arab ulama. Yeah. How many years of study to qualify as a mufti? Well, I mean, you don't get the label mufti until you've been practicing for like 20, 30, 40 years, I would say. But to qualify in being able to give fatwa, I would say maybe like after you've qualified from an Alimiya course, maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, depending on how much time you give to it. Inshallah, in the next few generations, the Ubandi revolution, yeah, it'll definitely, in this country, it'll definitely die out, right? It naturally does over generations. Fortunately, back home, baggage messed this up. Yeah, you're welcome, Brelvia beliefs. I mean, I have Brelvi friends. I speak with them. We don't have any issues. But it's just unfortunate that there is this kind of like sad sort of like pressure from both sides, groups, communities, who will automatically just sort of use a label, and that label can be so loaded that it makes just the average layperson think that this person is like like a kafir or something, or even a deviant, just because he prayed behind this guy or he shook hands with this guy and agreed with him. Sad, but inshallah, make dua. Inshallah, Allah will bring unity. Once all the What's the difference between Sufi, Hanafi, and Sunni? No idea. Once all the committee members pass away. That's a bit of a morbid. That's a bit of a morbid. I hope you're not going to bring that up in the food that when we get together for food. I say take the good and leave the yes. I like that one. Yeah, definitely. Puts youngsters off the deen. 100%. I mean, I guarantee you, there's lots of youngsters who have literally been feel disenfranchised simply because of this. We don't even know how many. And on the day of judgment, maybe we're going to be responsible for that. Abdullah, if I play badminton and they pair me with uncovered non-mahram women, or I have to play against a non-mahram uncovered women, is that permissible? You can play, but it's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it? It's like, obviously, if you're looking at thighs and things like that, and to try and avoid not looking. I mean, if it's optional, I would say no. I would say you shouldn't play. If it's that kind of situation, then no. If it's something which is you don't really have a choice, you have to reach a certain stage. But I personally would not do it. Yeah, definitely not do it. I don't feel sort of like comfortable with that. I feel especially in the UK, we should drop the Braille Deobandi labels and identify Hanafis, though affiliate. Definitely 100%. Our scholars say it's makruh to pray behind Braille. No, they don't. That's only a few individuals say that. That's the thing. Yeah, that's a few individuals say that. It's not like something which is in the core Hanafi sort of like a few individuals have just heard it from somewhere and they just keep on repeating it. So people think that's and I know many of my teachers would pray behind you when these wouldn't have a problem. Two groups together can take the Islamophobia challenge in the UK, definitely 100%. And they have to. That's the next thing, they have to unify. There's no other choice. How many years to be an Islamic scholar? Watch my video. Love Allah. I've made actually a series on the Alimiya course. It's a 4-part series. Check that out. I've explained it in there. Well, you can't get young committees same mentality of elders. Yeah, definitely. We can tackle non-Muslims attacking Islam instead of attacking, definitely. In America, I feel it's different. Gym, basketball court with masjid. If a person repents sincerely and starts to practice deen but dies not long after, would this be questioned in his past? Allah knows best. Or we hope not. But we can't really kind of dictate to Allah of how He deals with people. It's up to Allah. Why not review vegetarian entries as opposed to meat food places? The Prophet ﷺ ate more vegetarian food. Definitely. It's a good idea. 100%. Yeah. So Imam Malik actually used to eat meat every day. So if you're a Maliki, Abdullah Afdal, what if she is moderately dressed, just no head covering? Then there'll be like a possibility. Yeah, possible. I mean, maybe the scope there. Yeah, as long as thighs showing and these kind of things, then no, definitely no. Right, guys. So session is done. Right, session is done. My brothers and sisters, I hope you guys had a wonderful evening. Right, on this the metaverse. Soon it's going to be like we're going to have live stream and we're all going to be sitting there. You're all going to be like sitting around and you're going to be seeing me walking around in my avatar image. Yeah. In what I can remember, read in Ta'lim al-Haq, the Imam should not be an innovator. Yeah, so but is Ta'lim al-Haq a representative of the Hanafi school, or is it just some individual has written it? And that's the thing, isn't it? So see what happens with general public. If there's a particular book that's become widespread and everyone's reading it, people tend to think whatever's in there is absolutely how it should be understood, and no one questions whether what the author wrote is something that really is correct. So when it says innovator, what does it really mean as an innovator? Like, if someone can label someone as an innovator, on what grounds, on what basis, what exact thing would they criteria? So it's easy to say don't pray behind an innovator, but it's like, well, if I said to you in Bukhari hadith, in the chains, there's innovators in the Bukhari hadith chains. It kind of brings the question of to what extent does it mean an innovator? Mr. H. Salam Ustad, I see you on Saturday night chills. Yeah, as usual, man, as usual. Jazakallah khair, Hassan. Sheikh, have you played rugby before? No, in school I did, but it just looks a bit too sort of like rough. Yeah, so I kind of I don't like my shoulders being pulled out the socket. So, but yeah, I used to play in school. To be honest, how does one know who is an innovator unless you have questioned the individual? Yeah, exactly. So generally, what happens is like this: like from the Ubandi, they might hear things about Brelvis, and then they kind of think, you know what? Oh, they're all like this, or astaghfirullah, they all believe in this kind of thing. And there might be just, for example, one guy who's like a really kind of messed up Brelvi, and he's said some really bad things, and then all of a sudden, the whole group gets the punishment because of that what that one guy said. And the same happens with Deobandis. There could be one guy who affiliates himself with the Deobandi movement, and then he says something, and then everyone in the Deobandi movement has been brushed with the same stroke. Yeah, and this is unfair. This has always been unfair. So I think what tends to happen is this is what tends to happen, that we need to be more critical. Like this, we're living in this society. We need to be more critical about what is being said, and especially when it comes to things that are creating disunity amongst ulama. I think that's the main thing. Jazakallah khair. I did not mean to challenge you in any way. We're just asking because some scholars say something whilst others. Yeah, 100%. No, I don't mind at all. You guys know me. Yeah, I don't mind at all. If you guys ask questions, I'll try my best to answer them. Obviously, except for those kind of like crazy kind of testers. But yeah, that's my own personal thing on this, which I believe that people should have, inside of them, that much sort of like due diligence that they should question their ulama. So if their scholars say something to them, we shouldn't be afraid to ask, in a polite way, respected way. But why is this for? Like, how is this? Is this something consistent with our religion? Is this something which is consistent with our madhab or school of thought or whatever? And sometimes, if you ask the right questions and the scholar thinks about it, he might think to himself, well, actually, he's got a good point. Sheikh, I have a habit I want to get rid of. How do I get rid of it? I don't know. I mean, it depends what habit it is. What I would say is, depending on what type of habit it is, first of all, make dua to Allah. And secondly, that habit, wherever you do that habit, right, try to get rid of the kind of things that will encourage you to do that habit, right? So those kind of the what do you call them, the cues, right, or the triggers. Try to move them away. And obviously I don't want to ask too many questions about what kind of habit it is, but this is a question that requires. There's actually books that are written on how to break habits. Atomic Habits is a good book, right? It's about habits, how to develop habits. And I'm sure there's like psychological sort of studies that have been done on breaking habits as well. All right, guys. Jazakumullah khair, guys. As usual, I really enjoy. This is like the part of my week where I really enjoy talking to you guys. I'm very kind of open with you guys. I feel very sort of like natural with you guys when I'm speaking. I'm not like giving a bayan or something and I have to put on some sort of a show. And that's how I like being around people, right? Where I can be myself. And then most of you guys are regulars here, and you guys know what I'm like, or so you guys know my jokes, or you know my banter, or you even know what kind of what kind of triggers me as well. So yeah, really appreciate it, guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, happy, enjoyable week, right? And full of energy and positivity and whatever you're going through in your life here. Remember this: Allah is greater than all your problems. Allah is greater than all your problems. Allah is greater than your family problems. Allah is greater than your work problems. Allah is greater than your financial problems, your health problems, and Allah is watching everything. Yeah, alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair, Abdullah Afdal. Ameen to your beautiful du'as. Ameen, Abdullah Afdal. Trigger, social media is the trigger of most bad habits. Yeah. Possibly, that's possibly, being authentic is the best. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair, Ali. Alaikum salam. Zaid, wa alaikum assalam, rahmatullah, wa alaikum assalam. Daniel, you should do videos going through qasas. Yeah, the thing about qasas, I know why a lot of people ask me to go through qasas because they're doing it in madrasa. And they basically just want some sort of like supplementary work to be able to help them pass the exam. I know a lot of people ask me that. But what I would suggest is go through my other videos. Seriously, go through the Arabic poetry and go through other literature that I've gone through. Malfluti. That way, what happens is it kind of like develops you in Arabic, so you become strong in Arabic. Yeah, strong in Arabic. Otherwise, if I do just like whatever is taught in a particular madrasa, because students, right, because a lot of students email me and say exams are close and we need to revise and can you please go through this book? Yeah. So I know it's like it's a kind of I would say it's a kind of without being too sort of like blunt, it's a bit selfish kind of request that someone just wants it just for the revision, rather than not selfish as in like selfish as in from everyone else, but selfish to themselves. I would say because some people are selfish to themselves. If you want to learn Arabic, you should dedicate yourself to learning Arabic. You shouldn't be something that you're just trying to pass an exam. It should be for that, I would say. So this is why when I make those videos, I teach it in a way which I know it's not taught in madrasa, so that students really understand what's happening. And rather than whether they pass the exam in the madrasa or not, it doesn't really matter. It's have they really kind of understood it for themselves. That's what I focus on. So that's why I deliberately don't do qasas. I can do qasas, but I deliberately don't do qasas because I know students are just going to use that just to kind of get through their classes. That's the kind of thing that I think, and it's not really fair because then it's like it's like crutches for them. It's like stopping them, stunting them from developing. But if you give them a different text, it's like really testing them. That's why I do, Daniel. How's the revision? Really attending weddings, freelancing. Sheikh, please help me solve the issue of not being able to earn money while studying. Du'as, du'as. Try to get a part-time job. I will tell my students that. Always get a weekend job, part-time job, especially nowadays. There's so many possibilities. You can even deliver food. You can do all sorts of things with the bike. Can you talk with non-mahram elderly? Can you shake their hand? Yes. Yeah. And talking with women is permissible, as long as you don't flirt with them or. How did you cope all them years studying? I don't have financial support. So I was in Pakistan, so my financial expenses wasn't that much anyway. Alhamdulillah, my parents supported me. I had some savings myself, but really my parents did. MashaAllah, Allah bless them and reward them in this dunya and akhirah. They helped me a lot financially. I remember it kind of worked out for me when I was in Pakistan. It kind of worked out possibly about £2,000 to £3,000 a year. My whole expenditure that I would basically need. Yeah, sometimes maybe a bit more. But being in Pakistan, it was just literally about the whole year expenditure. I could survive on £2,000 to £3,000 a year, I would say. And a year, I mean like maybe 10 months, 11 months. So it's just kind of like getting into the routine of stuff. So yeah, so that's the thing, is in Pakistan, it's like the madrasa provides free education in madrasa in Pakistan. The only thing you're really paying for is food, and the madrasa food was like really cheap. And then what we used to do was, if we couldn't eat the madrasa food because it was a bit spicy and all that, we used to kind of just make our own food, put money together, and help make the food. So yeah, it kind of like worked out quite well. It was, I mean, if I kind of figure it out, it was probably about 500 to 1,000 rupees a week. 500 to 1,000 rupees a week. That's what I was spending. Are you allowed to deliver food supermarkets? Sometimes you need to alcohol. Yes, you can deliver, because you're not delivering the alcohol itself. You're just generic job you're doing, and the alcohol might just be there on a few occasions. I'm 19 now. Or what, is it too late to start? No, that's excellent age. I started at 18. Yeah, I'll be down for meeting up, inshallah. Stream is behind you. Oh yeah, yeah. Ahlan wa sahlan, Jan, man. All right, guys. So take care, inshallah. I will go now. Hope you guys have a wonderful week, inshallah. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.